Brilliant. All right, Bernie, what is happening? Guys, I have Bernie on here to do like the answer questions. Bernie is here to jump on, do her version of the client hot seat. And Bernie has been a member of the academy for 7 months, and where she was at the end of 2021 compared to now is absolutely incredible. And I wanted to come on and share a story because it's going to be very inspirational for a lot of people. And so, Bernie, thank you so much. I suppose my first question to you is like, tell me a little bit about yourself, like obviously who you are, where you're from, and what do you do with yourself?
I'm Bernie Gleeson. I'm from Canape, Carrick-on-Shore, and I'm a home health worker. So it is a time-consuming job, takes up a lot of my time, but I now make time for other things.
Brilliant. That's good to hear. And so, like, prior to signing up, Bernie, like how did you get started with the program, and like what was your biggest struggle, and what was the reason for joining the academy?
I joined up with the drop of dress size. I've seen it advertised through Facebook. But I think the main reason why I joined the academy, it wasn't only the fact to lose weight and to get fit, but my mental health had taken an awful batter. And it's gone to the stage where I wasn't going out. I wasn't meeting people. I wasn't interacting with people. So from support from you, listening to advice from you, I started off walking, going out for, might be only 10 or 15 minutes a day, but now I could be out for an hour and a half every day. Walking makes a big difference to the mental health.
That's class, Bernie.
Oh yeah, it gives me time to think, and I love listening to my music. It gives me time to myself.
Unreal. And so like you're saying there, obviously, that you're kind of like wanting going outside. Just kind of give a bit more insight for people. So like, say right before you're starting the program, like how were you feeling? Like you're saying there that you want to go outside, but like in terms of like how you're feeling, basically, like how was that?
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. I was never so low. I was in, I suppose, I won't say the darkest part of my life, but everything came together.
I get you.
All everything that has happened in my life just kind of got on top of me. And there's some days I wasn't getting dressed. I wouldn't have a shower. I was getting out of bed because I had a child to get ready for school. But if he wasn't here, I wouldn't have even got up in the mornings.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to do something because I knew myself that I was in a dangerous place. And I couldn't go any lower than what I was. So all I had to do was try and get back up again.
Brilliant. I love that. Fair play, Bernie. And like, how do you feel now, like obviously being this far into the program, and how are you a different person in comparison to, say, the end of 2021?
I'm more sociable. I love going out. I love meeting people. My mental health is tenfold, better by tenfold completely. I don't let silly things bother me anymore. And I don't care what people think of me. I mean, I am who I am. If they don't like me, but that's their fucking problem, not mine.
I love that, Bernie. Such a difference in you as well. Like, I remember when we first had the call, you know, like I was explaining to you about the academy and stuff for that. I remember like just the change in you from then is incredible. Like I'm so proud of you. It's class. And what do you owe your success to? So like what systems, or like what were the biggest action steps for you?
Well, one of them was I had started doing a journal because I had counselling done and they had recommended it. And you always encourage the journal. And I do, if I don't do it every morning, if I don't get a chance in the morning, I will always make time during the day to sit down and fill in my thoughts. And it does help to clear the mind. It was great to get the exercise done. So it was a little bit of time to myself every day, not only the walking, but the weight training and things as well. It makes you a little bit more disciplined. And it's hard to know which way to put it. You are more disciplined, but you feel better for it. If that makes sense.
No, definitely, yeah, 100%. And like obviously you're in the academy now 7 months, Barney, and like life isn't a straight road. Like you have some good days, you have some bad days. That's just, it's normal. And same with progress. Like obviously just some weeks things are going great. You have a few weeks where it's not, and that's just normal. And it's important to just speak about that, because everyone thinks, right, I'm going to lose 4 stone just like that, rather than like, you know, having bad days and bad weeks and so on. So what was the biggest lesson you've learned over the past 7 months, or lessons if you have more than one, of course? Cool.
Nutrition. To always be careful with your portion sizes, and to make sure that you weigh your food properly, because if you don't, you're at nothing. Another big thing for me was, as I said, the exercise, because I was always, and I put my hand up to say, a self-confessed lazy bitch, and there was no other way of putting it.
That's why I love Brian, so honest.
It's the only way, I mean, it's the only way of putting it. But now, if I don't go for my walk during the day, I don't feel right. But when the child was in school, every morning when he was going to school, I'd put the dog on the lead and off we go. But now that he's on holidays from school, it could be afternoons, it could be evenings by the time, but I have to go out every day. I mean, I have no choice. I love to walk, and I won't say I like the weight training as much, but I do it.
Oh, brilliant. So that's class, Barney. And like, even with that as well, like say for the new members, which I'm going to ask you a question at, or somebody who's interested in the academy, like you like your walking, so that was kind of main priority. And then like the strength training then was more of a health point of view. It's not like I was like, right, you need to do this. It was just like a recommendation. And like, I don't think you ever feel pressured into, right, I need to get this done. It's part of the kind of the process of getting healthier and stuff. And obviously somebody else may like, right, I prefer weights. I'm not a fan of walking. You love your walking, and that's what you did. And you're after making really, really good progress. And like, what would be like your biggest win, I suppose, then?
The first and foremost biggest win would be my mental health. And then to lose the weight for me was massive. I know I have still a long way to go.
I'd be like, I think since the start, Barney, you'd be down, I think it's about 15 kg, something like that, I think, if I remember.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, around that, which is unreal.
But I still have a bit, a good way to go, because I had a lot of weight to lose anyway. And I think losing the weight also, it helps with confidence. I have a confidence now that I haven't had with years. And a lot of it has to do with your help and support, and listen to all the advice you give to build confidence, to give you the insight to not to be so hard on myself. What will be. If I lose weight, I lose weight. If I don't, I don't. So there was a time I'd go mad if I hadn't lost weight, but now I don't mind as much, because I'm getting fitter. I'm getting healthier. I fell a couple of years ago and I broke my left shoulder. The physio told me I'd never get full use back in my shoulder. And me being me as stubborn as I am, I said, I'll fucking show you. I got the use back in my shoulder, but was very weak. And since I joined the academy and started doing the weights and things, the strength is coming back. It's not 100%, but it is an awful lot better than what it was.
Class. That's unreal, Bernie. That's unreal. And say then for the newer members, say somebody who might just be here for a couple of weeks or maybe a month or something like that, or somebody who may be interested in joining the academy, like what advice would you give them?
Don't think about it too much. Just do it. Just do it, because the more you think about it, the more you talk yourself out of it. And when you're in it it may seem daunting for the first couple of weeks, because there's an awful lot of information to take on board. But you take it on board at your own pace. You get great advice, you get great support, not only from yourself, Dara, but from the other members in the academy as well, because they tell you what works for them, not only exercise-wise, but food-wise and things as well. Which, and I don't like reading I wouldn't, it's not something I do every day, but I do read every, I'd research things and I'd make sure that I understand what you ask us to do. And if I don't understand, then that's where you come in, because I will ask questions. I mean, the advice I would give people is don't think about it. Just go ahead and do it. It's worth anything.
Brilliant. That's a really good answer, Bernie. Thank you so much. And my last question then for you, obviously off the back of your current success the last couple of months and stuff, Bernie, like, what would you like to achieve going forward?
I want to be able to get stronger, but I also want to lose weight. I want to keep up my confidence and to be able to tell people who was there for me to help me when I needed it, to point them in the right direction when it comes to, if people were tasking, I will recommend the academy. Do you know what I mean? Keeping my mental health where it is very, very important to me. It took me a long time to get back to where I am now. As I said to you from day one, my main aim was to find myself again. And I'm nearly there.
Class.
I'm nearly there. I mean, it's been a long journey. It's not just over the last 7 months, just over the last 10 years. And now at long last, with your help and support and advice, I'm almost there. Class,
Brian. That's unreal. Fair play to you. That's class. That's a really good way of finishing off. That's a really good way of finishing off. Really good. Guys, if you're watching this in the group, make sure to comment. And if obviously you've listened to it in the app, obviously drop me a message what the biggest takeaways. But Bernie, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. You didn't obviously have to give up your time. You gave me your time, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I hope everything makes sense, because I'm not great to talk. I'm not great to explain myself. So I hope it all comes across okay.
No, perfect sense, Brian. Thank you so much. Hit stop here now.
Okay, no bad.